Hey guys, so before I go see Venom and I give you the review tomorrow, I wanted to give you a review of a book and a movie. Or two books and a movie, if you got that. This is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan, the author of the books, which you can see up there. These are very good books, the bestsellers. That's to do with Greek mythology, and they're a book series that I hold close to my heart because I started reading with those books, and since then mythology has become my passion because of them. The movies, though, aren't quite so revered. They're filled with plot holes and all kinds of things, but right now I'm just going to make it breaking down into three sections. So basically, what they changed, what they didn't change, and my verdict. So changed. They changed a lot for the films. Grover seemed to become a new ethnicity. He became black. And to be honest, the Grover of the films is a lot better than the one in the books. I will say that. He's a bit more funnier. But he hasn't got the... he basically doesn't have the ambitions of Book Grover, who wanted to find the Greek god Pan, who was the Lord of the Wild. So he wanted to find him because he wanted to stop pollution of the earth, but from humans. Percy in the films is a bit of a Gary Stu, basically the male version of a Mary Sue, which Rey from the latest Star Wars films is getting called a lot, and she deserves that title because she is one. First movie, the character of Annabeth was a brunette when in all books, and the second movie she is a blonde. I think they made that change from brunette to blonde a little too late in the films because they'd already screwed up the first movie. So the first chapter of the first book is called "I accidentally disintegrated my my ex algebra teacher, my pre-algebra teacher," and this is basically the opposite in the books. Well, this is basically the opposite in the movies, where Percy just lets her go through the window, where in the books she gets disintegrated by the swords that he gets given by Chiron in the museum. Now, the first movie is good up until after the Minotaur scene, which is basically like the book, where Percy where the Minotaur basically captures Sally Jackson, Percy's mom, and Percy decides to kill the Minotaur with his own horn. Up until after that, the movie is completely different to the book. For instance, there is 3 pearls that are given to Percy in the book from Poseidon through a messenger. These were found by the protagonists of the movie throughout the different scenes. So, like in the Lotus Casino, RTM's Garden Emporium, and the Parthenon in Nashville. Now, one change they made for the film was that the Nashville scene with the Hydra was completely the film on its own. The Auntie M's Garden Emporium was the lair of Medusa. That wasn't changed, but how they met Medusa was. When they met Medusa first, she was a kind old woman who was in kind of like a Muslim garb, with headdress and everything to cover her head, to cover her whole face and everything. And then she attacked them after she fed them. And in the movie, she just goes out. She just comes out of nowhere and attacks them. Now, in the book, the monsters would pop out of nowhere when they go to certain locations. So they just meet Medusa. The Minotaur would come out of nowhere, and they'd encounter the Furies from the Greek underworld on a bus when they were going to leave camp. And they changed Hades for this film. Now, in the books, he's described as the first god that Percy meets that is actually pretty godlike. So he's in massive black robes, he's 10 feet tall on a throne of bones, and all the other gods are really well, they look like us, just way taller. So Mr. D's kind of like got in a in shorts and a leopard skin shirt. Zeus is in a suit, a grey and blue suit, that kind of thing. So I changed that. Things that weren't changed. Okay. Things that didn't change. Oh yeah, back to changed. They completely missed out Kronos from the first film. He's a major antagonist of the whole series. They missed an opportunity for that in the first film. They instead put him in the second film as the last boss. Changed. Right, so unchanged. They didn't change the name of Percy's sword, which was Riptide, or Anaklosmos if you're Greek. The struggle for the basically getting Zeus's lightning bolt, that was part of the first book, and it was part of the first movie as well. They didn't really change the whole trying to get the bolt, but they didn't. What they didn't change was how Percy found out he got the bolt, because it was in his person the whole time. But instead of being in his backpack in the book, right from the book, in the film, it was in his shield, the handle of his shield. So basically, shield would be there, and then the bolt would be in the bit there. And he gets given those. Well, he gets given the backpack and the sword by Luke Castellan in the book and the film. In the book, Luke wanted in the book, Luke wanted the bolt to be given to Hades, so he'd stir up mass chaos among the gods. This is the same in the movie. And he he was being controlled by Kronos in the book, but in the film, he's just basically a whiny demigod with daddy issues. So, yep. The film was bad. Well, not really bad. They missed an opportunity to put Ares in the film. I mean, I had a look at the diner scene, which was halfway or 3/5 through the film, and they didn't even include Ares. Now, Ares, to me, I always envision him as, right in the book, when they described him, I thought of basically the Terminator, but instead of having robot eyes, he had balls of fire. You can imagine that. Yeah. Yeah, I was imagining like that. He was cool in the book. Yeah. So, final verdict. The book, way better. Far better than the movie. And it seemed like the creators of the movie were just a bit arrogant as to not have the story of the book goes directly to the film. I mean, like they completely missed out the Chimera, as well as the waterbed scene, which, well, it's a bit more scary in the book. To be honest, it sounds better than it does in the book. It's described better. So, final verdict. Book good, movie bad. The book was a terrific, great book. A really good Greek tragedy, because in the end, Percy ends up leaving his mom in the underworld, and he just went there for no reason whatsoever. He ends up going there without the prize he wanted. So, in the movie, he ends up getting... Okay, right, in the movie, he ends up taking his mum. They really didn't do the research on this one. Okay. If you want to see, right, I will be continuing this review with the Sea of Monsters in the next video. I will catch you guys later. So, yeah, I say, book 9 out of 10, very good. Movie 2 out of 10. It was lost in adaptation. That's all I can say. Okay. Yeah. So that review will be coming after Venom, and we'll see you guys later. Jack Reviews out.